Good morning and welcome everybody to the Spanish Pavilion, who has had the kindness of offering us a space in COP30 to have a mutirão of EU Climate Pact ambassadors. We are very grateful to the Spanish government for this. So we are going to discuss about how we can develop our activities as European Climate Pact ambassadors, joining our forces to get this collective objective of being able to give a solution, a reply to the climate change that we have nowadays. So I would like to present quickly the main speakers, but as a proper mutirão, we have the intention to give voice to as many people as possible. So we have the honor of having Mrs. Maria Augusta Arruda, who is a COP30 presidency senior advisor on mutirão, and she will make the opening remarks. We also have the chance of having Jesus Martinez Linares, who is going to moderate this event. I'm going to be the serious or the conventional moderator, and he's going to be the creative and musical moderator. And he's the president of Fundación Sustenta and a European Climate Pact ambassador. We also have Miroslav Polzer, who is a European Climate Pact ambassador from Austria, and who is CEO of and founder of the Global Citizen and Youth Empowerment System. That is an international association for advancement of innovative approaches to global challenges. And he's also in charge of the Digital Innovation Pavilion that has also hosted us for some discussions on the legal dimension of the right to a healthy environment. We were supposed to have Mariana Gomez, but I hope she will be able to join us a bit later. We have Mathilda Rouge, who is a European Climate Pact ambassador from France, who has kindly come to speak to us about youth empowerment. She is a European Climate Pact ambassador from France and the COP30 coordinator for Generation Climate Europe. And finally, we have also Jean-Christophe Crespel, who is a European Climate Pact ambassador from France and the president of Coordination Climat, the French coalition of environmental NGOs, among many other things. But well, let's start, and I will very shortly describe what is the European Climate Pact. In fact, the European Climate Pact is a part of the European Green Deal, and it works on the basis of the activities of European Climate Pact ambassadors. We are around 1,000 ambassadors in Europe. We are European citizens, but not only European citizens. You can also be an ambassador if you are from another country, but you are living in Europe. And we come from all regions of Europe. We have all kinds of professional backgrounds, and we are from different ages. We have been appointed by the European Commission, and we are volunteers. We are not paid. We don't receive instructions from the European Commission, but we have to respect some rules, some basic principles, like the attachment to science. We have here a very distinguished European Climate Pact ambassador from Belgium, who is the vice chairman of the IPCC. We also have to make this link between what is happening globally and the impact that all these discussions have locally. We have to be ambitious and being aware that this is an urgent matter. And we have to be inclusive and respectful. We have to promote dialogue and alliances. So, but I would like just to say some words on our role, and then we will start the list of interventions. So our role is about raising awareness about climate change and environment. It's also about explaining European policies, climate policies. It's also about inspiring other European citizens to convince them that it is possible, that we can do it. It's about connecting peoples and ideas and institutions. It's about developing and scaling up solutions, because we are now at the moment of solutions. And it's also about accompanying and supporting communities that have been affected by climate disasters. As a European Climate Ambassador from Valencia, Spain, this has become a very important role for me. And finally, it's also about making sure that we raise to the challenge. So without any more introductions, I would like now to give the floor first to Mrs. Aruba, sorry, to our Brazilian colleague, Mrs. Maria Augusta Arruda. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. It's a huge pleasure to be here today. And I was, listening attentively to the description of this important collective, the independence, but the commitment to science, and also, the fact that you come from all walks of life. So a collection of scientists, entrepreneurs, artists, and that's exactly the spirit of the mutirão, of the global mutirão. Mutirão is a native Brazilian word, but it is a human technology. It's a human social technology. We have all been involved with mutirões throughout our lives. And this is a prime example of a mutirão. Your organization is a prime example of the mutirão. There is an echo. It's from the other side. And I think that there are some values that we share as well. The transdisciplinarity that is so important. The intergenerational aspect that is essential. And also the fact that it's transboundary. And I think that very few things, despite all the crises, epitomize transboundary as the European Union. And, trans-European, transnational enterprises that have as the main aim the prosperity, not the wealth, but the prosperity of the human race. So something that you didn't share, I volunteer as well, just like Diego Martins that is here in the room, that we were involved since the very beginning of the construction of the concept of the global mutirão. I'm a scientist. Diego is from the finance sector. And there is something really important of a mutirão as well. When we are called, we go. And I think that's something that we need to really foster and encourage in ourselves and others. When you're called, you go. Being here with you is amazing, but it's not my comfort zone. I'm much better in front of a PowerPoint talking about the amazing research I do in our center, but that's not what is important right here, right now. And I think that COP30, with initiatives like this one, because maybe sometimes they say, oh, it's a relatively small group of people, the ripple effect of moments like this one is, is immense. And that's what we need to do to promote more moments like these of sharing, of listening, of exchanging experiences, and of action as well. Because as our COP30 president, André Correa do Lago, has said, and the President Lula has said as well, it's time for action. We are in the implementation phase. So, using always guided by science, giving science the space and the respect it deserves, we are able to create through emotion, through the culture, through engagement, through the arts, and make it possible through sustainable financial movements and instruments, we are able to get out of this pit we are right now. So unfortunately, I can't stay here for the whole event, but I am delighted to be here with you, to sit here even just this moment. And I leave to our other event that I need to start preparing, and you are all invited. Elena can share details. It's after this one. I feel infused and grateful and so very happy that we are finding this common ground and we are finding the global mutirão that we've got inside each one of us. Thank you very, very much for this space. Thank you.
Wow. Well, hi, planet. How Brazil? Hi, Spain. Hi, Europe. I've been totally exhilarating. I've been talking to Maria. I told her that for me, digital mutirão was a constellation in the starry sky. You see, any one of you is a single star with your own light, with your own passion. When you combine together, when you join together, you form a constellation of stars, which is a pattern of collaboration, dignity, diversity, and purpose. You see, like the ancient navigators here in Brazil, they use constellations in order to travel the ocean. We need also mutirão constellations in order to navigate this complexity of the climate emergency. You see, so digital mutirão reveals that even though we may seem little stars, but when we compound together, when we join together, we form a constellations that really guide us forward. So we can our collective lights that illuminates the path to our common future. Thank you, Maria, for inspiring us. Thank you. Maria, have to go. Really nice to see you. So now it's our turn just to show the world how mutirãos can be formed for single shining stars. We're going to start one first round. So the big question for you all is what is your shining star? Tell us about your projects. Tell us about your dreams. How you put forward this passion in order to speak for the planet. So we can start with Miro. That's right. You can stand up if you want to.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Thank you, Elena, for putting this together. It's really a pleasure to be among EU Climate Pact ambassadors. And if you allow, I will not share only my work, but also some conceptual thoughts. So, my organization is IAI GLOCHA, and it stands for International Association for the Advancement of Innovative Approaches to Global Challenges. And we are building this GLOCHA, Global Challenges Action Empowerment Partnership, because we see that the existing coordination and incentivization mechanisms of global community in the light of the climate crisis are not effective enough. So we have the United Nations, we have national governments coordinating, producing texts, the Paris Agreement, the Agenda 2030, but somehow we are lagging behind in the implementation. And so our approach with our organization is we need a systemic innovation. And today's title, a digital mutirão, a pact from civil society as an anchor for changing times, it reflects already this systemic innovation, because we see the COP30 presidency having this governance innovation. They are really, in my understanding, the most valuable element that Brazil COP30 presidency is bringing to this global climate governance efforts is to pointing to the importance of the grassroots level, saying we need a global mutirão, we need all hands on deck. People should specify their self-determined contributions. That's a very important element of the global mutirão, as it was presented in the second letter of the COP30 presidency. But this mutirão and also the EU Climate Pact is the same logic, but somehow we are not really part of the constellation, as you are saying. We are small islands, disconnected silos. We don't know who is doing what, and therefore our approach and today's event is about the digital innovation, emerging technologies, digital public infrastructure as an enabler of effective and inclusive multi-stakeholder climate action. And the COP30 presidency has also chosen digital public infrastructure as one of its priority themes. They've published just a few days before the COP started a report, Climate DPI, where they said the world needs digital identity systems which are developed with the common good in mind. We have many digital solutions which are quite good, but they are owned by private corporations, and they are optimizing for the profit goal and not for the common good. So we need to really invest collectively into digital public infrastructure. It's about the digital identities. It's about global challenges action registries. We need really to know who is doing what, where, how, with what kind of action and what kind of resources, what kind of outcomes, so that we can learn from one another, we can incentivize one another, we can take action to lower down the negative activities. And this kind of digital public infrastructure really needs to be in place. This is the digital public digital mutirão. We need the social innovation of this kind of pacts of climate ambassadors, individuals, schools, companies, everybody saying, yes, I'm ready to work on this kind of action potential, or this kind of challenge. And then we need this data, this information connection, some kind of nervous system that we work like an organism together, like a capillary system or a mycelium. We need to be more connected. At the individual is needed, but we need to be together more. And that's my message, and congratulations again, Elena's Spanish Pavilion and EU Climate Pact ambassadors. Together we are strong, and we will build a positive future and a good life for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Miro. Fantastic speech, fantastic shining star. And now we follow the line of star. So it's your turn. Sir, what is your shining star?
Thank you very much. And I didn't expect to be invited to speak, so this will be very short and very spontaneous. So I'm a climate scientist. I'm Jean-Pascal Van Ypersel, former IPCC vice chair. I'm from Belgium. I've been researching and teaching about climate change and sustainable development for more than 40 years now, I'm afraid to say. And maybe the two actions I would quote in relation to the Climate Pact ambassador role, which I'm happy to endorse since the beginning of this year only, is one at the global level and the other one at the more local level. The one at the global level is that within IPCC, in which I've been involved for more than 30 years now, actually exactly 30 years this month, because my first IPCC meeting was actually in Spain, in Madrid, in November 1995. This was the final working group 1 report of the second assessment report. Throughout my work in IPCC in different functions, author, bureau member, vice chair, I try to promote at least two things. One is the policy relevance of what the IPCC is doing, because it's very important that you don't leave scientists in a silo. I mean, the scientists, they like to be in a silo. They like to be, I mean, many of them, not all of them, thankfully, many of them like to be in silo, particularly silos in the shape of an ivory tower, you know, which is a kind of silo as well. And they don't, they're not sensitive enough to the needs of society and policymakers in particular in terms of science. Because to take good political decisions or economic decisions, you need to be based on facts, good analysis, science, good diagnosis. And if you don't do that, you probably are going to take decisions which are going to fail relatively soon. But to be policy relevant you have to go out of the silos, out of the ivory towers. You have to speak and understand the needs of society, the needs of policymakers, the needs of stakeholders of different kinds. And I always try to do that so that the IPCC report are as much as possible policy relevant. Another aspect I've tried to promote within IPCC, and which I think is important for all the ambassadors as well, and this is also what has just been evoked now, the importance of good communication. And communication is not only a one-way thing. I mean, it's not just from, you know, IPCC or scientists to a certain audience. Communication means it needs to be two-way again, and it requires a strategy, it requires a plan. And when 15 years ago the IPCC during the Copenhagen conference, that was COP15, was under attack, and science was under attack. It's actually under attack today as well. But at that time, the IPCC didn't have a communication strategy. And as a vice chair, I was a vice chair, then I was tasked to chair a group to design a communication strategy. And I think we are in a little better position now, thanks to that. So that's at the global level. And at the more local level, I created a little less than 10 years ago in the Walloon region of Belgium, which is the southern part of Belgium, French-speaking, a platform which is funded by the Walloon government and which has the mandate to lubricate, if I may say, the interface between what the IPCC and the scientific community at large is doing, not only the climate scientists, but also the solution scientists in both adaptation and mitigation of all disciplines, because many people think that only climate scientists are part of IPCC, and that's totally wrong. There are sociologists, there are philosophers, there are political scientists, economists, engineers, specialists of communication, etc., and ecologists, and they play all a very important role in a constellation, as you to use the image you just used. And we are trying to lubricate the interface between those very thick IPCC reports, sometimes a little hard to read, and the needs in Wallonia of policymakers, stakeholders, teachers, citizens, young people. I have a lot of interactions with young people in Belgium, and we publish a newsletter which is free, and if you read French, because we are writing in French, because it's for the French-speaking audience, you're most welcome to ask me how to subscribe. It's free. You can also practice your French if you are not perfect in that language, and you'll have one of the best available source of easy to digest scientific information on IPCC and climate action and climate science. So those are two of the things. I'm doing many other things, but two of the things I'm trying to do as contribution to the work of the European Climate Pact.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And I'm afraid I have to leave you in a minute.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you very much for sharing with us your experience, and thank you for putting your light abroad and setting a common path to our future. Now let's follow the line here, so we can. Yes. So we invite to Jean-Christophe to share with us. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. So my name is Jean-Christophe Crespel. I would say that I'm a social entrepreneur because I'm involved in a lot of actions. About stars, we see a lot of stars in the world. I mean, local NGOs doing incredible work with their communities. And our aim in one of my organizations, which name is International Impact, is to help this kind of really amazing stars, to help them to increase their power, their social power, but also economical power and environmental power. So that's part of the work that we do in that organization, in that NGO, International Impact. So right now, this organization is involved in 60 countries in the world and is sending 515 volunteers. Those volunteers are from the civic service in France. We have, like in Italy or in other countries, this kind of youth program for people from 16 to 25 years old. They are sent abroad for 6 months to 1 year and to help communities. Those young people are also stars. I mean, they give 1 year, 6 months at a minimum to help communities. So that's just amazing to see youth involved like that. And it's really a pleasure to help them to go abroad and to have contact with the communities. Not in the city centers of great, well, countries, but going in the suburbs, going in the shanty towns and helping communities, going in the rural areas to help the communities, and that's amazing. We are also linked with other shining stars, which are French NGOs, because this year we decided to create another organization, which name is Coordination Climat, to help the coordination of French NGOs abroad. That's a national coalition, like it already exists in different countries. I was thinking about Belgium. You have Coalition Climat. In France, we didn't have any kind of coalition like that. So that's the idea, was to create a Coordination Climat involving a lot of NGOs and helping them to go, well, to a systemic approach. In fact, those NGOs are doing incredible work. They are stars. But they work in silo. So the idea is to go from silo to a systemic approach. From a tree to a forest. That's the idea, really to help those organizations to increase their impact on those crises, the crisis of climate, for sure, but also on biodiversity, but also on pollution. So working on those 3 crises that we face. So that's the idea. And also we would like to connect, and that's why I'm involved as the EU Climate Pact Ambassador, to connect with other countries, the 27 other countries of European Union, to do those connections and to, well, to illuminate more over the world, at least Europe, and to develop our connection. That's the idea. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You see, I am thinking right now that we are in this configuration, this circle of sitting here. We are at the same distance from the Earth. Actually, that's also mutirão. So now let's go. For another shining star. We want to hear what you have to tell us.
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, it's a pleasure being here, and thank you again, Carmen, for inviting me to take part. So my name is Matilda. I'm a Climate Pact Ambassador. Can you hear me okay now? Better? Yeah? Okay, I'll talk louder. And I'm with Generation Climate Europe. So Generation Climate Europe is the biggest youth coalition of networks in Europe, representing youth and in the climate discussion. Oops. So we are over 46 countries, and the reason why I feel so passionate about having this youth representation is that youth is often the category of people where we have the least to say about climate and policies in place, but we're the ones who are going to be the most impacted in the long term and having to live with the consequences. So it's really important that we're part of dialogues. We have grassroots initiatives, but we also have policy advocacy. Something that we did quite recently that I'm really proud of is that we have a youth dialogue with Commissioner Hoekstra, and unfortunately only 15 organizations were invited for that. So what we did at Generation Climate Europe is that we organized our own separate advocacy the same day, and the idea was really to have your voices heard. And we had a workshop, and then altogether, all these different youth organizations, we came together and we were able to share and then bring a collective message to the Commission. So something that a lot of you talked about is this idea of silo and the idea of bubbles. And I guess that's kind of what we're trying to do in the climate space, is that to break that silo between youth organization and having this coordination. On top of that, something else that I do in my personal time is that I have an environmental podcast called Lex Natura. And I also do presentations. I deliver presentations in schools about the Paris Agreement because I have a legal background. And that's the other part of it for me, is I think to have youth voices heard, youth need to understand what's going on. And oftentimes that tends not to be the case. A lot of youth feel a lot of eco-anxiety, but they're also sometimes not aware exactly of who's in charge, what is happening, and how they can get involved. So that's something that I try to do through climate education. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have all seen how you shine, how your light. But now the second question, very important for a mutirão, is how you think you can constellate, how you think you can establish, how can we build a bridge so to connect with everybody else to foster climate action. So let's start with Miroslav.
Can you repeat the question?
That's right. So now that we have seen all your shining starlight, now the second question is, can you imagine, you can constellate, how can you build a bridge so we can foster climate action, how to connect with everybody else? We are neurons, how can we form a brain?
Okay. Yeah, so it is our flagship initiative now that we envisage the digital public infrastructure, the digital identities, so that everybody should have on their mobile devices a Global Challenges Action dashboard app or Global Challenges Action AI assistant, which will guide people in documenting what they are doing, and with this self-sovereign digital identities, so that people can keep as much privacy as they want. They are the owners of their data. And then we need standards and protocols for people that they can document what they are doing. And so these are prerequisites. If we don't have this digital public infrastructure, it's impossible that we really connect properly. And then it's needed the Global Challenges Action Registry, where people can enter their information. There's a mechanism, a protocol standard to get it verified. And then geospatial tools, maps, where the individual action is localized. It can be connected with geospatial data, Earth observation data, collective intelligence tools, and then really also with the help of other digital tools like AI, and so that we distill the information, the learning out of this information that the citizen provides and the open data that the world has already there. It's really a challenge of harnessing the potentials of digital innovation and information technology to connect us better. So that's how we can shine together. And it's really a precondition. Humanity currently is not functioning as an organism, but simply as cells or neurons, as you said. And yeah, we have an initiative called DPI for ACE, Digital Public Infrastructure for Action for Climate Empowerment and Carbon Market Readiness. And we are planning to set up in July next year in Switzerland a quasi-international organization based on Web3 technology, blockchain technology, to hold these digital public infrastructure assets on the global and local level. And it's going on. We are building on the report of the COP30 presidency, Climate DPI, and we will have events at the UN Science, Technology and Innovation Forum in New York in May, and hopefully also a high-level thematic debate at the UN General Assembly under the patronage of the President of the General Assembly, because this kind of infrastructure is what the world needs, what the UN needs, not only for climate. We need to pursue and secure and grow the common good on the global level. We need this additional layer, digital layer to the global cooperation architecture.
Thank you very much. Really very interesting. So, Jan-Christophe, we want to learn from you how we can constellate together.
Well, when I look at the Earth, I think that, in fact, it's not turning round. It's turning the other way round. So we have a problem, we have an issue. We are in developed countries, but let's turn in on the other way. Let's try to see how it works really. What was the chance for us to come and to go to developed countries? When we send volunteers, we think that we have to change our way of thinking. And that's what we decided to do in our NGOs, thinking about the South, putting in the North, thinking about our position, thinking maybe that we should be more, well, in another way of thinking. We have to change that. That's what we decided in Coordination Climat. In Coordination Climat, our logo is the Earth, but the other way around. Because it's a way of thinking. We have to change everything. We have to change our way of doing activities, business, certainly for companies, but also thinking about education and well, thinking about the population in the south, in the forest, in the Amazon, about their needs, what we can do, what we should not do, how to understand their needs, and how to try to respond to that, and to respect the earth. That's what we are trying to do.
Hi, okay, I'll stand up since that's the trend. For me, I think that what's important is, again, this idea of like breaking silos and making sure that we are having communication. So I think it's great to have these events like these ones where we can all share together what we're doing and actually see how we can connect. So it's not just about like different youth networks connecting together, but also connecting with policies and scientists and everything so that we can have a shared vision together. Generation Climate Europe, what's nice is that we are based across a lot of different countries. So actually, for me coming at this COP, some of my team members, I had never seen them in person before. So it was quite lovely to be able to actually like see people in person. But I think it would be nice to move that further and having digital platforms where we can actually exchange with other organizations more. And in terms as well of my environmental podcast, like perhaps having platforms where we can link specific topics. For instance, I don't know, I did an episode recently on the rights of nature and linking that directly to, okay, what actions can you take afterwards? Because I think climate education is a nice first step, and I see it a lot, but when I go to schools as well, and I deliver presentations, students, they want to know what they can do, not just learn about issues. So I think for me, the mutirão and digital space is actually creating a space where youth can see how they can be empowered and what they can actually do concretely, and yeah, have that action.
Thank you very much. See, before shining stars, now they are forming like a bright constellation here. So before of the concluding remark, I would like to recall that the mutirão is always inclusive, always democratic. So now is time for opening and maybe hearing some contribution, spontaneous contribution. So you're really welcome to share what is your shining star, what your impression of this mutirão. Would you like to share something with us, for instance? Thank you. An applause to him.
So hello everybody, I'm Larry Moffat. I'm a European Climate Pact ambassador. I'm here officially I'm here officially as a delegate of the Press Club Brussels Europe. In that capacity, I will be hosting a press conference this afternoon, 5 o'clock in Press Conference Room 2, presenting the COP30 bike ride. So these are extremely dedicated people who have come to Belém by bicycle and by boat. So really an amazing initiative. I also come here as a climate activist. I'm a member of a citizen movement called Rise for Climate Belgium, which started in 2018, and we focus mainly on European climate policy because we are based in Brussels, where the European institutions are. As I was listening to you, it occurred to me that, to me, an incredible example of a global mutirão was the Fridays for Future movement in 2018, 2019, because it was a grassroots global movement that just came out of nowhere, inspired by one person, Greta Thunberg, and her lonely school strike. And that inspired us as well as a citizen movement, and we really grew up together. The Belgian chapter of Fridays for Future is called Youth for Climate, and one of the founders of Youth for Climate, Adélaïde Charlier, she also crossed the Atlantic by sailboat to come here on an all-female boat, crew, and she's here to talk about the importance of gender. My last comment would be that a lot of people criticize the COP, and they say thousands of people taking the planes to come to one place and spend 2 weeks just talking and then nothing happens. So I don't try to follow the negotiations, it's too complicated for me, but to me the COP is absolutely a unique opportunity to network, to meet people, to share, to collaborate, to start new projects. And I think that what Mira was talking about, this digital infrastructure, is maybe what we need so that the meetings are not just sort of random. You know, I meet a lot of very interesting people just by chance, but I think we could be a lot more effective, a lot more impactful if there was a more structured way for like-minded people to meet and be able to work together.
Thank you very much for sharing. Amazing people. Thank you very much for your struggle. Maybe there's somebody else over here. Yes, please. What's your name? Marco.
Thank you.
Welcome home.
Thank you. So hi everyone. My name is Marco. I'm the French European Climate Pact Ambassador, and we share just experience of how I was aware about the European Climate Pact initiative, and my first and previous experience as an NGO. I was co-president of NGO based in Brussels. I won't mention the name. I won't mention the name of this NGO because it was a complete disaster experience, and some of the founders and the co-founders fight, and it was closed. But I was aware about this initiative. That's bring me the lessons of when we face a bad experience in life, we have the capacity to see the next steps and the bridge that this experience can bring to you. And I have also I had the chance to attend the Climate Change Initiative in Marseille. I was with Jean-Christophe, who is also European Climate Pact Ambassador, with some other Climate Pact ambassadors. And in this event, we had the chance also to present opportunities to present initiative about what we have, what we want to do and what we want to bring in our perspective and project. And I decided at this moment just to present an Egyptian initiative through the NGOs, but it was not possible to make it because I didn't open an organization at this moment. So I present this initiative, and this initiative was rejected at this moment. And after that, I decided also to open the Seedline Foundation with the French-based NGO. And we decided also to implement a smart irrigation project in this country. I come from Egypt, and I choose Africa first because in Africa we have more than 60% of the best solar resources. We have more than 7,900 gigawatts of potential, but less than 3% of this potential is used. That's why we try to launch this project, and also upcoming new member of Coordination Climat when invited by Jean-Christophe, and that shows also the matters of get rid all the forces and to unify the next steps that we have to make in the climate change. And thank you for the opportunity to show this experience.
Well, maybe it's time. Sorry. Yes. You want to share with us? Tell us about your light, your shining light.
My channel light, what is channel light?
Well, I can see it. You have something to share with us? That's what I call a shining light.
Yes, I have it. I'm.
You can look at the camera.
Okay. I'm very
This is
shy.
the planet. Say hi.
Okay, so I'm Leonor. I'm from Portugal, and yes, and I just joined this event because I just saw the name, a pact from civil society, and I work in a Portuguese foundation called Gulbenkian, and we have a prize that is Gulbenkian Prize for Humanity. That is a prize that is 1 million euros per year to accelerate climate solutions to people and planet. And actually, this prize, it's a prize for civil society. Anyone, like in here, can do a nomination, and then all the nominations are voted for international jury with Professor Rockstrom, former Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel. But the idea, of course, is then have the specialists to do the evaluation, but the principle is to give the civil society the power to. I know this project. I think I followed this organization for several years. They are doing an excellent job, and I want to give them power to do a change in the world, and that's why I came to work there, because the idea of me doing a change, my friends that are always talking and saying like, oh, I can't do nothing, oh, I love sustainability, but I feel like so that I can't do anything, and in this we can do something. So.
Okay. See, thank you for sharing your energy. This is what I mean. Yes. Please share something with us. You are a really nice Brazilian woman here. What's your impression? What's going on around here?
Eu estou muito feliz de estar aqui, presente, com pessoas aqui no pavilhão da Espanha, né? Porque são meus ancestrais. Não deixa de ser. Aqui, ó.
All right. So, sorry, please.
Okay. ¿Qué quieres decir?
Não, eu quero dizer que para mim é uma honra estar aqui presente nesse momento, prestigiando as pessoas, principalmente as que eu estou recepcionando, que é o casal, os dois ali.
For me, it's a pleasure to be here, to be with you guys.
Foi muito bom ouvir no que eu pude entender, né?
It's been very amazing to understand what you are saying, to be here and enjoy this moment.
Gracias.
Gracias, thank you.
A big applause. Representation of the people from Belém here. So let's go for the concluding remarks here. The first thing I want to say is that look, planet, let me tell you something. Everybody's looking at you, but now it's something like here. We are here in Belém, the entrance of the Amazons over here, and it's time to assume their own perspective, to put the planet upside down in order to listen what these indigenous people, what the South, the global South, has to tell us. So from here, I can say that for me, the core idea of all what happened here in this side event is that this has been a mutirão. All the COP30 is a mutirão. All the planet is a mutirão because mutirão is more than a collective effort. Mutirão is a collective spirit. And this is what we saw here. We saw your light or your shining star light to form collective, a big constellation. Let me say to you that this is one of the things that people don't know, but there's a lot of fantastic people, amazing people coming here. We need to talk about the planet. We know to share knowledge. We know to form a bridge together, and we can do it face to face down here. And this is very important. You know, there's very fantastic things happening all around, and we want to tell the world what we are doing here. To end with, I would like to pay a tribute to the COP30, a tribute to the indigenous, to the Amazon. Because you see, I went to the forest, and I see that all the indigenous throughout history, they have sung together in order to reinforce their spirit, to put all your energy together. They sang together because, you know, singing together converts your individual voice into one magnificent choir. And this is what a mutirão about. You know, a mutirão transforms single voices in one collective dialogue. And also here, it has transformed single shining star into one great big constellations. So I propose you to end up singing like indigenous, the anthem of the planet. And let's sing it in Portuguese, right? So please come up together. We're going to make a round here around the planet. I'm going to sing. Yes, no, ahora.
So I just wanted to say some additional words. Frankly, I think that our role as civil society is very well reflected in what we have been trying to do here, is to speak in loud voice with a lot of disturbing noises around us. So we are now at a moment of history where the challenge of the climate change impact is huge. So we need to have proper climate policies, but unfortunately, they are not happening at the speed that we need. So we, as civil society, we have this responsibility of not only raising awareness, but also of making sure that the solutions come and they come at the right time. And now let's sing.
Thank you, Carmen, for your spirit. Okay, so this is the first time we do this in the planet. So this is very important. It's the anthem of the planet. There is a choreography. So every time we say in Portuguese, planeta Terra, o meu planeta, planeta Terra, o meu planeta, planeta Terra, and then we join hands, nosso planeta. That's right? Repeat again, planeta Terra, é o meu planeta, planeta Terra, nosso planeta. And then we sing and dance around it, all right? So please come here. Please come here for you. Yeah, please come here. We have music louder. We offer a gift to Mother Earth, a sign of devotion, a pledge of our worth. Hands to the sky, a falaise over our heads, planeta Terra. And then hands to the shed, this is my planet, nosso planet, to bring health to our heart. In this single act, we bind science with soul, heart with mind, speech with action, words with passions, strength with grace, hope with conviction. Louder, louder the music. A little louder. This is no way a simple song. No counter drift or middle wind. Oh, rising your heart strong in unity. Oh, I call for peace for all to see. Everyone together! Planeta Tierra, el meu planeta, planeta, nuestro planeta, planeta Tierra, planeta, nuestro planeta. Dancing, everybody! Na, na. There is no way, no borders lie. Hey, you see that? No human crew beneath the sky. Well, come on, people! We nice sick to men, what fell apart. You see, restore dignity to the heart. 1, 2, 3, planeta. Planeta, planeta. Nuestro planeta. Dancing together. Woo! Woo! Mutirão. Everybody together! Planeta Terra! Planeta Terra! É meu planeta! Planeta Terra! Nosso planeta! Planeta Terra! É meu planeta! Nosso planeta! Planeta Terra, é meu planeta. Planeta Terra, nosso planeta. Digital mutirão, Planet mutirão.